Meet MahJong is the new board game from ThinkFun that introduces the fundamentals of both Chinese and American MahJong. The game is for 4 players, so grab a few friends and dive right in. The box includes 2 sets of game boards, American and Chinese, 4 player screens, 178 tiles divided into 3 suits, bamboo, BAMs, stones, dots, and characters, cracks, red, green, and white dragons, and jokers. The box also contains 4 win tokens and 2 sets of instructions, American rules and Chinese rules. In this video, we'll be focusing on American MahJong. Let's take a look at the game board we'll be using for American MahJong. The objective is to use all the tiles in your hand to complete a single row of tile groupings, or sets, on your game board. Each row has an assigned point value based on the difficulty of acquiring the tiles needed to complete it. All 4 game boards are different and are exchanged at the conclusion of each round. Let's take a look at one of them now. To complete this row, you need to find 1 number 3 character, or crack tile, 2 number 4 bamboo, or BAM tiles, 4 character or crack tiles of any number so long as they match, and 1 number 6 bamboo, or BAM tile. Notice the joker symbol here. This means the tiles in the set can be replaced with joker tiles. You can replace as many tiles as you would like with jokers, so long as at least 1 tile matches the set as shown on the board. If there's no joker symbol, you can't use a joker tile in that set. This row is worth 3 points, but let's also take a look at this row, which is worth 5 points. For this row, you'll need 3 number 2 stone or dot tiles, 3 number 3 character or crack tiles, and 2 number 4 tiles of any suit so long as they match each other. With that out of the way, let's take a look at the gameplay of American MahJong. Distribute the 4 game boards and set a player screen in front of each. These screens double as reference guides, so make sure to look at them when you're confused. American MahJong does not use the win tokens, so those can be set to the side. Once everything is set up, turn all the tiles face down in the center, including the jokers, and mix them around. This is called washing the tiles. Each player will draw 7 tiles to start. Before the first turn, there is a tile exchange called the Charleston. Each player takes 3 tiles and passes them to the right. Then they take 2 tiles and pass them across. Next, they pass 1 tile to the left. Note that jokers cannot be passed during the Charleston. The final pass is called a lucky pass, where players optionally set 1 to 3 tiles face down in front of their screen. Starting with the youngest player, then going counterclockwise, each player will take a turn exchanging the turned down tiles. If you don't want to participate in the lucky pass, don't set any tiles face down. Players can claim any tiles they wish. Any remaining tiles go back into your hand. Once the passes have been completed, the youngest player then begins the round. On your turn, you either draw a tile or call. Calling is a way for players to take the most recently discarded tile and place it into their hand. Just note that a call has to take place immediately after the tile is thrown. If you miss your window to call, the game continues and no one can call the tile afterwards. Since this game is just starting though, we'll just draw a tile. Regardless of what move you make, you may only have 7 total tiles at the end of your turn, including those you've placed on your board, so you must discard. Discarded tiles are called thrown tiles and are discarded face up and announced out loud to the table. You may choose which of your tiles to throw and which to keep. Once a thrown tile is placed, the other players will have a chance to call the tile, except for joker tiles, which can be discarded but not called. Note that you can call a tile at any time, not just your turn. Looks like a player has discarded something we could use for our set. This is a good time for us to call. By calling, we are announcing to the table that we are calling that thrown tile into our hand to complete a set. You can use whatever language you'd like to call. Once we call a tile, we have to remove our privacy screen and the entire table will now be able to see what our strategy may be. If this call were to win the round, you would instead say MahJong to announce that you've completed your final set and have won. As a beginner rule, you can call a thrown tile that works with your strategy. In other words, it has a place on your board, even if it doesn't complete a set. This is called a general call. Advanced players can omit this type of call. After a call, you will still discard a tile and play resumes with the player to your right. Yes, this may result in some players losing turns. Whatever tile you've thrown can be called as normal by any other player. There could be many calls in a row. If more than one player tries to call the tile, the order of priority as to who receives the tile is MahJong, a winning call, completing a set, then a general call. If two players have the same priority, then whichever player has their next turn sooner receives the tile. The first player to complete a full row on their game board calls out MahJong, even if they win from drawing a tile. This ends the round. The player who calls MahJong does not discard a tile. Record the number of points for the row that the winning player completed. Exchange boards however you like, and begin your next round. After 4 rounds, whoever has the most points wins. In addition to the game, the rulebooks also have a brief yet rich history of MahJong, resources for learning more about traditional MahJong, key differences between Chinese and American MahJong, and advanced rules for players who want an additional challenge. Meet MahJong offers hours of fun for 4 players and is a welcome addition to any family or friend game night. Recommended for ages 8+, available on Amazon.